Hello there, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Daphne. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be working on this back bed, and we're going to be investigating to see if my junipers made it through the winter. So I'm just giving you a close-up look of the state of the bed. It is a mess. It's sitting right below my nemesis, which is the 50 feet plus pine tree that litters my backyard, and I fight with it in the spring and also in the fall. And we're going to be cleaning that bed up. And we're also going to be finishing a staining project, which I realized I didn't complete, which was this bench towards the back fence. The two sides I never stained, so they still have that cherry wood stain. So we're going to take care of that today. So I'm just giving you an overview of this back space. I'm going to clean it off, and then we're going to just wash it down. And we're going to see how it looks after I'm able to just wash off all of the dirt and a little debris that's on the top of the bench. So I just want to thank you guys again for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I am trying to make it as peaceful and as enjoyable as possible. So we're going to be listening to a lot of the nature sounds. On this day, it was a little breezy, so you're going to be hearing some of the breeze. My neighbor right across the way, right on the other side of this fence, has chickens. So the little chicken coop is right below the fence. So if you see the little mesh fencing, that is to keep them safe. So I don't want to have like any type of rodents or anything that cross, throughout the property, being able to get into their little coop back there. I actually had put that fencing up even prior to the coop being there, just because I didn't want anything that perhaps might be on the other side of the fence, because the fence was so high. My grade is pretty much on level with the property behind it, but in some cases I sit a little higher or a little lower to the two neighbors on each side of me. If you're enjoying the video and you're on a device that you're able to leave a comment, please leave me a home emoji and a plant emoji in the comment section. That just lets me know that you enjoyed the video, and I will continue to bring you videos like this one. So thank you so much for your support. So right after I finished soaping up this bench, I went over to the faucet and I realized that the faucet was broken. And I do remember it happening during the winter. It froze and the splitter cracked. So we haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. And I realized that I didn't have any water in my backyard. So I just went and I filled up the pail that I was already using with some fresh water to just be able to get the soap off. So we are really roughing it on this day. Hopefully one night after work, my husband will be able to fix the pipe so that I'll have running water in the backyard, especially because I'm starting to do a lot of projects and I really wanted to start doing some pressure washing in the backyard. So while I let the bench dry off, I just moved over to the bed, which is right next to it. So we are going to be getting up all of this pine straw and pine cones and mulch that is in the bed. There were layers on top of layers on top of layers of debris in this bed. So I went and I got a contractor's plastic bag. And in case this is the first time that you're by, I use these black bags just to easy transport all of my organic waste. I bring it to the organic yard so that they can compost it. I don't do curbside yet because we still have about 2 weeks before they do curbside pickup. So I don't want to keep this laying around. So I've been filling up these plastic bags. And then on Monday, I'm going to go drop them off at the organic yard. I already have 4 or 5 of them that I worked on. The other bed the other day, and then this one, I accumulated a bunch of debris, so we're going to be dropping that off all at once. But don't worry, I do recycle here, and we try to compost, but we do that at our town's compost organic yard. We don't have room on the property. I definitely would like to do compost because I would like to be able to utilize, all of that good and rich compost. But the second best thing is to just make sure that you drop it off at any organic yard so that it at least can be recycled. So after today and the raking that we're going to be doing on the lawn, we have a little over a third of the lawn fully raked down and all of the debris off of it. So tomorrow I am going to make sure that I complete the raking so that I can put down the fertilizer and just start prepping the grass because it is starting to wake up. And the springtime is the best time for cool season lawn. So you always want to make sure that you have the fertilizer down so that it can just start thriving with all of the warmer weather that is to come. I recently received this kneeling bench from Costway and I absolutely love it. It can be the lower bench or I can turn it over and it can be a little seat. And it comes in so handy to just be able to move it around within whatever area that I'm working in. It has those little pockets on the side that I can put my tools in, and I absolutely love it. It was such a welcome addition to my tools in the garden, and I really enjoy it. So we are trying to see if these junipers are completely dead. So I went and I got my shears and I'm just like scraping towards the stem to see if there's any green. And unfortunately, there was no green. It hadn't rooted. We had just popped these in the ground here during the late fall. And unfortunately, they were already struggling before we took them out of the pot. And they just continued to struggle. And then they died from the very cold weather that we had over the winter season. So it's very unfortunate because I did have these plants inside of the front planters for several years. But with gardening, sometimes plants just don't make it through the winter, especially because we had such a cold winter this year. So I'm not surprised that I lost them, but I definitely wanted to check both of them to see if by chance, if I scraped it, they might be some type of green, and then I would just be able to nurse it back. But unfortunately, there was no green, so I pulled both of them out. We just moved over to cutting back the coral bell, and we have some beautiful coral bell. I've had these in for years. I don't even remember what type of coral bell they were. I picked them up from Home Depot a number of years ago, and the variety of the coral bell I don't think was marked, or I didn't take note of it, but they are beautiful. And I really enjoy them. I usually cut them back. If they get a little bigger, I'll divide them, but for the most part I just cut back all of the old foliage and then I just try to clean it up. So if you're interested in checking out the kneeling bench, I'm going to have the details linked in the description so that you can check it out. It, as I said, it is amazing, and I think that it is going to be a game changer in my garden for this season, just so that I don't have to bend down as much, and it just offers comfort. And then also if I flip it over, it also is a seat. So if I'm working on a project that I need to like get down and low, instead of squatting, I can just sit on the bench and do whatever project that I need to do. In the springtime, I always take away all of the slate stones that we have just bordering the bed, and I like to just remove them because with all of the pine straw, a lot of it gets under and in between all of the stones. So I like to just be able to clear it off. So I always move them out. And then also because it's just such a loose stack. There's a lot of settlement, so I always like to just clean it off and blowing it, and then we're just going to restack them. This is a very haphazard stacking. It's very casual, and I just love the way that I'm just able to use a lot of the stones that I found on the property to just make interesting edgings throughout the space. And in this case, we just always make sure that we clean it off. We like the patina that is on all of the slate stones, and we like the variety of sizes. And I usually just add it back differently each time. And I really like the way that it looks, especially when I'm able to add in the mulch and just finish off the bed. So we're just continuing on adding in the brown mulch that we picked up from Lowe's the other day. So we use, I think, 3 bags in this bed, and I absolutely love brown mulch. It just really pops against whatever greenery or plants that you have in your bed. I love, 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 love brown mulch. I tried black mulch for, I think, one season, and I liked it at first, but it really loses that black saturated color pretty quickly. But I find with the brown, it definitely retains the color much longer than the black. So we're definitely looking to add in additional plants within the bed. Right now we have 4 coral, we have creeping jenny, we have a holly, we have a sand cherry, hosta, and a fern. So we are going to be on the lookout of what other color and texture we're able to add in here in the spring and summer season. So we've been at it for a while. I usually work for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes max. So I've taken a couple of breaks. I've worked, it's been at least 2 hours now. The bench is all dry, so we're just going to go in with 1 coat of slate solid bare stain, the wood stain that we have been using. It's the weatherproof wood stain. We've used it on so many projects, and I absolutely love the color. I know that a bunch of you have said that you've been using it in your landscape as well. I use it on my wood and also my hardscape, and I have really been enjoying all of the saturated gray colors that we're able to put within our property. So in front of the bench, I always like to just go in with a couple of inches of mulch, just because when I am weed whacking, I don't like to go all the way up to the bench with the weed whacker because then I'll damage the wood. So I always like to put a little mulch to just edge out in that area. And then I also like the way once the grass greens up, I like the play on the green grass and the brown mulch. If you enjoyed today's video and you appreciated the ambient sounds in the background, leave me a meditation emoji. If you would like to hear our music in the background, leave me some musical notes. Either way, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoy, and until the next time, have a blessed day.